Alright, I'm not feeling the greatest, but it is what it is. I've been trying to find somebody for a very long time. And I do mean very long time. As a matter of fact, we attended, as far back as I can remember, we attended kindergarten together up through, I think, second or third grade. Around that time is when my family helped his family move down to Missouri. He was only down there for a couple months and then he came back, or a couple years rather, and then he came back. And then his mom brought him back up to Minnesota. Bear in mind, I'm 6, 7 years old at the time when we went through all this. However, I'm hoping this video does circulate. I'm hoping that it does make its way around and that if by some miracle he does end up finding this video. Okay. The person I'm looking for, and I'm hoping like hell that YouTube will help me. The person I'm looking for, his name is Josh Miller. His name is Josh Miller. We attended, and a lot of people may know this, a lot of people may not in my area. We attended econ together. Again, we helped him and his family move down to St. Joseph, Missouri back when we were kids. And then they ended up moving back. Well, I've lost touch with him over the years. I lost touch with him. I'd like to get back in touch. That's about the biggest thing that, because we've lost touch, that's about the biggest thing I can come up with is the elementary school that we attended. And the reason I bring that up, and actually there was 2 elementary schools that we attended together. Econ and Four Seasons. I don't imagine anybody would remember remember what Four Seasons is. It was inside Arlington High School. I believe it was Arlington, years ago. Anyway, like I said, I'm just trying to find a friend. I'm trying to find a buddy that I haven't spoke to in years. I would like to be able to get in contact with him. Okay. His name is Josh Miller. I'm not even sure how old he would be at this point. He's right around my age. I'm 36. He's right around my age. He has, I believe it's 2 brothers and a sister. Jesse, I believe, is his sister's name. And Wayne was one of his brother's name. One of his brother's names. By now, his mom's boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call him, Daryl, by now is probably passed on. His mom, Rosie, I'm guessing by now, unless she was able to lose a lot of weight, and I'm really hoping she did. She was a very sweet woman. I'm hoping she lost, a lot of weight. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure she's probably passed on by now, too. If this video doesn't circulate around, that's fine. I would appreciate if this video does circulate around, but if it doesn't circulate, that's fine. I'm not necessarily going to worry about it if it doesn't. However, it would be nice if it did. And yes, I know, I fucking chew the shit on my mustache and curl it around and all sorts of shit. Anyway, no, like I said, if this video could get circulated around, I would appreciate it. Again, the 2 elementary schools we attended were, econ was first, before they switched up to Bruce F. Venno for whatever the hell reason. Just because the dude was a state senate don't mean shit as far as I'm concerned. That school lost quite a bit when they did the name change and they switched principals. That school lost quite a bit. And I don't remember when they came back from Missouri. I don't know where they were staying. If they just up and showed up on our front porch one day and said, "Oh, we're staying," which we wouldn't have had an issue with anyway. We've known them for years. Well, at that point in time we were kids, it seemed like years. No, it actually has been years. But yeah, no, Four Seasons is the last school we attended. And I will admit, some very unsavory things were going on around the neighborhood. I'm not going to deny it. Some very unsavory things were happening, and like we ended up getting into a couple of fights, and it didn't turn out pretty for either one of us. I came out on top, but it didn't come out pretty for either one of us. I would just like to get in touch with an old friend again. I really would. If any of you would be willing to share this video, I would greatly appreciate it. I really would. I've been trying to find a way to find him for a number of years now, and it's never worked out. They had a show called The Locator. I was actually considering, I actually had somebody Google what I would have to do to contact the locator, and it just seemed like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo and a bunch of shit I didn't understand. So I did not go that route. This was actually one of the original reasons why I created my YouTube in the first place, was because I wanted to cover a bunch of topics and everything else, and I wanted to see if I could use this as a platform to be able to locate him. Now, I understand it's a long shot. I understand he's got his own life to live, all this. I just simply want to reach out to an old friend and say, "Hi, how are you? How you doing? How's life? How are things? How's your sister and your brothers? How's your mom? How are things? How's life? When we were kids, you used to talk about going to college. Did you make it to college? You were also talking about the possibility of traveling a little bit. You wanted to see the world. I'm curious as to, were you able to do that? What all have you done? What all have you seen? What kind of different people have you met? It's the questions are all there. This is from the heart, y'all. This is from the heart. Okay? I have not seen this man, and yes, I'm going to say man. I have not seen this man in over 20 years? 15, 20, somewhere or other. It's been quite a long, like we lost contact. Yeah, I'm going to say it's been over 20 years. Because we lost contact before I turned 10. And again, I've been trying to get a hold of him for years, and I haven't been able to. So, if any of you all out there at all, if any of you out there would be willing to share this, okay, and help somebody find a friend that he has not seen in a very long time, and I will always consider him a friend. He might consider me the lowest, nastiest, dirtiest, grimiest, just revolting piece of shit on this planet, given the way things have went. With that being said, and if this video doesn't circulate around, if this video doesn't make it around the net, okay, with that being said, I hold no ill will. At all. I hold no ill will on him at all whatsoever. If you want to go off and live your life, okay, by all means do so. Okay? Josh, I hold no ill will. None. Zero. Josh Miller. I hold no ill will at all, okay? You're a brother, and I'd love to get back in contact with you. I would love to see you again. I would love to know how you're doing. Again, how you're doing, where you've been, places you've traveled to, people you've met. And boy, if you were anything like you were back in the day, hell, you got to be married and at least have 2 or 3 kids by now. At least. I wouldn't doubt it if you're doing it big. Okay? Because one of the things that you'd always talked about was getting a house, having a family. You've seen all these other families out there that are just enjoying life, going swimming, playing in parks, having barbecues. Like, I remember when we were kids, and I remember this, I don't know, but I remember when we were kids, how you used to talk about how you wanted to grow up, you wanted to have a family, you wanted to own a house, you wanted to have a car, you wanted to have all these things. Well, I'm curious as to how well that worked out for you. Did you get married? Did you buy that house? Did you get that car that you wanted? Excuse me. Are you able to take care of yourself? Are you able to take care of your family? I mean, these are all questions that I have. Okay? Now, again, I have known him for over 20 years. To date, he is my longest friend that I've ever had. He's the very first friend I ever remember having, honestly. And I'm 36 years old. I can still remember this shit like it was yesterday. Kindergarten, I'm sitting down playing with some toys, and he comes running over. He immediately sat down next to me, and we clicked. We just hit it off. Like, if there was a particular toy I wanted, Josh wouldn't have an issue grabbing it at all. If there's a particular toy that he wanted and another student was playing with it, I would continue doing what I was doing. But out of my peripheral, if I was able to, I would look and see if the other student was done playing with the other toy, because I knew he wouldn't be paying attention to it. So I would, keep a close eye on the other toy, and just as soon as another student got up and walked away from it, I got up and went and grabbed it for him. When they came back from Missouri, there was a couple times where he got picked on, and if you're a friend of mine, you're a buddy, homie, whatever, okay, I'm not just going to stand back and let you get harassed by anybody. I'm not just going to stand back and let you get horse fucked. It's not going to happen. There was a couple times where some other kids did start, and I was picked on too heavily, don't get me wrong. I was called scrub. I was called all sorts of shit back in the day. Don't get me wrong. But anytime he ever had an issue, I was right there to defend him. No questions asked. No questions asked. There was no, okay, well, what happened, blah, blah, say, blah. No. He had an issue, my ass was right there to help him out. Period. Always has been, or at least when we were in contact, I always was, and I always helped him out. Always. Like I said, me and this kid clicked for virtually right away when we were in kindergarten. There was one thing that me and my piece of shit father always did. One. And we always did it together. Him and I used to work on a farm together. Okay? I'm not going to bother saying where because it doesn't make no never mind. I used to work on a farm with my piece of shit father when I was a kid. That was a him and I thing. Now, every once in a while, my siblings would come out or something like that. Okay. However, there was 2 times a year where it was just him and I. And he asked me how I felt about it, and I said, "I'd like for these particular events, I'd like it to be just you and me." Um, when it came time to castrating the bulls or neutering the pigs, that was a him and I thing. And there was a couple times where he wanted to come out to the farm and he wanted to help. Okay. My piece of shit. I mean, this will be on a Saturday morning. Everybody, like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's already up. Music's going. Like, people are already running around. I mean, we had a house full at the time, too. Don't get me wrong. We had a fucking house full. My piece of shit father comes up to me. I'm ready to walk out the door. Like, I've already thrown on my pants. I've already thrown on my shirt. I got my shoes on. I threw boots on when I got out there. So that way I didn't have to put any cow shit on my shoes. Joshua came up to me one day and he asked, "Well, do you think it would be okay if I came out to the farm with you and your dad?" He was like, "I think it'd be really fun. I'd like to go out there." So, so my piece of shit father knelt down next to me because he was ready to go. Like he was all set and ready to go. Like he wanted to come with. There was a couple times, excuse me. There was a couple times where I did give the okay to let him come with. Now, it was made explicitly clear to me that if I did not want him to go, then he would not be going. I knew what kind of work was involved in neutering bulls and castrating pigs, and I knew we had to get them all done in one day. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We had to. We even had 2 or 3 other farmers come by and help with this because this had to get done. There was some regulation thing that was going on at the time, and they needed all the bulls in the county done. They needed all the bulls and all the hogs done. Plus, our boss was in the process of trying to ship some of his cattle out anyway. And some of the bulls that he was selling. So, like I said, there was a few times where when we went out to do bulls and pigs, where he did come with, but for the most part, when it came to that, it was just me and my piece of shit father. However, he did come out to the farm with us, and he did help us out with the bulls and the hogs. If he came out and we were baling hay, he would stay up on the tractor while me and my piece of shit father were on the wagon, pulling and stacking. If we were picking corn, then him and I would climb up into the corn wagon, and as my piece of shit father is going right down the road picking corn, you got corn falling into the wagon left and right. I mean, and it's when it's late summer, early fall, and the corn's ripe. Okay, even when even when they're predicting it should be 65, 70 degrees, 75 degrees outside still. Um, when that corn falls on top of you, that shit's cold. Oh yeah, that shit will freeze you. We were almost done. We were almost done cutting corn for the day, and I was so damn cold, I couldn't hardly move. He's buried under probably, I'm gonna say, 1.5 foot of corn. I mean, he's at the top of the pile, so we were steadily climbing our way up and whatnot, and goofing around as my piece of shit father was picking corn, and he decided because I yelled out, "How much longer is it going to be?" And he said, "Probably another 15, 20 minutes, and then we're going to call it good." And in all actuality, we only had like another 10 minutes left to pick it anyway, so we should have just finished it off. But that in turn would have severely overfilled the corn wagon, and I know how my piece of shit father didn't like to do that. So by the time we were done picking, he actually had to climb up, and we both had to pull Josh out of the corn pile. I had helped him and his family clean out a couple different places that they lived because they were moving. I've been through a lot with him. I have, just for the few years that he was actually around. I you know I helped out their family quite a bit, even for being that young. There's a few times when my mother even told me no, and I looked at her and I said, "Okay, Mom, would you tell one of your friends no if they asked you for help?" And she was like, "Really? It depends on the situation. However, um, with this, no. Like, yeah, no." I told her I was going to help him out, and she said, "Okay." She said, "Be back soon." So I walked, being 7 or 8 years old, maybe nine. I walked from our house down a bridge up 4 blocks to his place, and I started helping them clean up their place so they could get moved again. Like I said, I would greatly appreciate if this video could circulate around. If it doesn't, I understand. However, if it does, I would greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just trying to find an old friend that I've lost contact with years ago. Years ago. I mean, this guy, I can't remember how old we were. And I have looked at this house just recently with the last couple months, and I'm not happy with the renovations that they did. They should have just left it alone. It was just fine the way it is. Um, but I don't remember how old we were. My mother was in the process of cooking dinner. I believe she was making spaghetti that night. My mom and his mom were getting ready to make something. Don't remember what it is. However, um, there was something he wanted out of a cupboard above the stove. He didn't bother asking for help, and I still, to this day, like the back of my hand, I remember this shit, and I still feel so fucking bad. I don't remember where the hell I was at. I might have been outside, might have been upstairs playing Super Nintendo. Honestly, I don't remember. But I do remember him having to get rushed to the hospital. I remember him screaming. I remember not being let into the kitchen. Um, I remember him getting, I believe it was second or third degree burns. Like, and the way I don't know how the hell it landed on him this way, but the way he looked like he was wearing a Tarzan thing over his skin. It went straight down this way. All of this, y'all, all of this is burnt. Unless he had some sort of surgery to skin graft and correct it, all of this was burnt. I bullshit you not. This was the only part of him that was not burnt. The only part of him. As far as his torso and his stomach goes. His arms might have gotten hit a little bit. I don't think his face was hit at all. No, his face didn't get hit at all. It was just his body. Now, unless he went and had some sort of skin grafts or something done, those burns are going to be with him for the rest of his life. And I do feel bad about that. Like I said, he's one of my longest. Matter of fact, he is my oldest buddy. I met this dude when I was in kindergarten. Okay, like by far, hands down, he is the oldest friend I've ever fucking had. And again, I just want to find him. I want to find him. I want to see how he's doing. I want to know that he's okay. I miss the guy. What can I say, y'all? I miss the dude. I miss him. I love him. I want to know that he's doing all right. So, Josh, if this video circulates around to you, okay, if somehow or another you manage to see this video, if somehow or another you manage to see it and you sit through the whole thing, which I'm really hoping you do, okay, because these last couple of minutes are for you, buddy. Totally, completely just for you. Obviously, this is on YouTube, so the world is going to see it, which they need to, because I need this to be circulated around, seeing as how YouTube decided to become a butt fuck with how they want to do shit. This is for you, okay? I love you. I miss you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know that you're okay. How are your brothers and your sister doing? How's your mom doing? Have you gone to college? Have you done any traveling like you wanted to? Like, where all have you seen? What people have you met? I'm assuming by now you're married and you have kids. You're either renting an apartment or a trailer somewhere, or you went out and bought a house, which I'm hoping if you did it early enough, you went out and bought a house. Okay? Otherwise, like, whatever you're doing in life, whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, wherever you're going, whoever you're talking to, whatever you're seeing, whoever you're around, whatever. Okay? I love you, buddy. I love you, Josh. Okay? You are one of my oldest friends. And I've been trying for years to get a hold of you. Years. That's no joke. When me and my son's mom were together, there was a show called The Locator. Okay? I'm sitting there watching this show. And remember, Josh, this is strictly for you. Okay? Yes, other people are going to see it, but this is strictly for you. Okay? I remembered watching a show called... don't have the right one on me. Fuck it. Called The Locator. Now, after about... Actually, no, in the first episode, matter of fact. And I don't remember this show at all. I just remember there's a show called The Locator. And it was out for a couple of years, I think. In the first episode, I thought of you. The very first episode, I thought of you, Josh. Like, damn, I would really love to get a hold of him again. I would really love to, see how you're doing. I was advised at that point in time to leave you alone. I was advised at that point in time to let you live your life. And it was my son's mom that had advised me of that. No, the problem with that? Okay. One, I've always wondered how the hell you've been. Where the hell you've been at. Where you've been hiding, what you've been doing. Where, again, what places you've seen, all that shit. I've always wondered about you, bro. Always. When I was watching The Locator, well, okay, one, like I said, I love you. Point blank. Excuse me. Two, it doesn't matter how much time we've spent apart. I've never changed my views on you. Never. I've always considered you damn near to be like family to me. I mean, for fuck's sake. When my parents were going through some shit, your mother called my mother up because she had a feeling something was going down. And she asked if I had a place to go while everything was going on. Again, I don't know how the fuck your mom knew this, but she knew it. Your mom made arrangements, had your stepdad Daryl, or whatever he was. Your mom made transportations for me to come down and stay there the night. And I was only supposed to be there for the night. But we were bumming out on Sega, regular, super. I mean, we were bumming out on all the systems you had. And your mom had told me there was going to be a day or two before I was able to go home. So she sent her boyfriend, whatever, out to go pick up some food, pick up McDonald's and stuff. And your mom made sure we were set for a couple of days until it was time for me to go back. Your mom, straight from the gate, your mom was like a mom to me. Your mom was like my own mother. On the offhand, they didn't hit it off. I mean, for fuck's sake, we have known each other since fucking kindergarten. Like I said, man, I would love it if you would get back to me. Please, everybody on YouTube, circulate this video. It's a long shot. It's a fucking shot in the dark. But I'm doing what I gotta do to try to find a friend. Somebody that I have not spoken to in years upon years. So if you guys wouldn't mind. Okay? I'm not gonna do any locator or nothing like that. If you don't want to share this video because you think it's asinine, stupid, and retarded, then don't. Nobody's gonna put a digital gun to your head. Nobody's gonna plant a virus. Nobody's going to do anything. And so you have to, no. It would be appreciative if you shared it. It would be extremely appreciative if you shared it. But I'm not expecting you to. So, anyway, y'all, I'm going to get the hell up off of here. Josh, again, dude, if this video circulates around, would you please get a hold of me again? Yeah, I know I look like Krusty the Clown. I need a haircut. Please get a hold of me. Y'all share this shit around. I mean, please, I'm trying to find a very, very old friend of mine, and I would love it if you guys could please help me out. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.